Hello, hello.
Hello, 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 viewers of Stay Fit and Well, brought to you by Labos TV. Everything. My name remains Murphy, and I now have now have the co-host with me on the stage. All right, so I want to welcome especially Jennifer McNeil. Jennifer, how you doing?
Good morning, good morning, good morning to my hosts and all the people out there in virtual land. I am doing great. It is my birthday and I am so happy and blessed to be here this morning. Thank you.
And happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. That's why we had to do that special recognition and
Amen.
appreciate her for being here, despite it being a special day. Thank you so much. And yeah, also look at the very beautiful Mims. How are you doing,
I
Cheryl?
am
Good to have you.
I am fantastic. Listen, welcome to La Bose Stay Fit and Well TV talk. I want to say TV, but talk show today. I am Sherelle D. Mims. I am one of the co-hosts along with Shirley and Jennifer. And I am also the founder and CEO of Global Caregiver Speakers and Global Caregivers Network. Connect with us later. We'll give you more information on how to connect with us. Thank you so much for today and having our guests coming in today, Shirley and Jennifer. This is going to be a wonderful show today, as usual. Thank you. We welcome our audience to come on in, get your pen and your paper, and get ready. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you too. And we are here to make your healthy living fit well a place to go every week with our
Yes.
special guests, expert show to help you how you can improve your health, your lifestyle, and live for you. We promise to informative, instructive, course entertaining. So just don't forget to get your notepad and pen and get ready
Mm-hmm.
to please or like our page on Facebook, YouTube, on Instagram. This p.m. instead of 5 p.m. West African time. And don't you forget, like we started from the beginning, just on the show by share it to as many groups, as many friends that you healthy is good for everyone. So please help us share the broadcast again. Help us share the broadcast. So today, with our wonderful guests that we'll have in the house, we'll be looking into what it means, like being self guilt free when it comes to self care and of course wellness, and of course also we are also looking into inner empowerment. What does that mean? Inner empowerment. What does it mean? So stick around
Yes.
and let's learn together. Before we continue with the show, let's go on a quick break and we'll be
Are you
right back.
looking for a way to
Stick
improve
around.
your lifestyle and find balance in your life? If so, then you need to check out the Stay Fit and Well Talk Show. This educational package will help you learn how to live a healthy lifestyle and make the most of your life. We cover a wide range of topics on the show, including fitness, nutrition, mental health, and more. You can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday at 6 p.m. WAT, 12 p.m. EST. So if you're looking for a way to improve your life and get healthy, be sure to tune in to the Stay Fit and Well Talk Show.
All right, welcome back. Stay Fit and Well Talk Show is the place to be at this moment, at this time. So we have
Amen.
a phenomenal guest in the house with us, and Jennifer, take it away. Let's bubble our guest.
Are we introducing the guests now?
Jennifer, can you hear me?
Yes, you were frozen for a minute. But I saw Sherelle nod her head up and down, saying yes.
Mhm.
Again, good morning, family. And we have two phenomenal women with us today. Both are successful entrepreneurs. To me, that's one of the top things when we talk about self care, because you're doing something for yourself, truly for yourself. We have today Miss Isabel Freeman Elliott. She resides in Dunn, North Carolina. She has
Mhm.
one son, and Isabel is also a widow. She is a member of the Kohari Tribe Commission for the North Carolina Commission of Indian Affairs. She's chairwoman of the Kohari Intertribal Council Incorporated. She also serves as the board of director of her community board for well health. She is the owner and operator of ISSE Company Paralegal Service since 2003. She is also a Mary Kay sales director, and she's very passionate about helping people upgrade their standard of living and making a difference in enriching other women's lives. Now, our other guest, also a successful entrepreneur, Maida Skeet. She's going to be discussing self care, guilt free self care today. I'm interested in that. She is a personal trainer and wellness coach. Her services are specialized to people 50 plus. That's interesting to me, of course, but is beneficial to everyone. Family, please join me in welcoming both Isabel and Mavis to our studio.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. You.
You're very welcome.
Welcome, ladies. Good to have you on the show.
Good to see you again, too.
Thank you.
So, our next agenda on for is health you can use. Cheryl.
Yes, yes. We all can use some good health news, right? So let
That's
me just
right.
bring the latest health news that's going out. Listen, last week I talked about stress management, right? So we know we all deal with stress. Statistically wise, caregivers are being burnt out,
Mm,
right? At a array. I mean, the numbers are just staggering what's going on for unpaid caregivers. When we talk about unpaid caregivers, we're talking about those that take care of their loved ones in the home. They're not being paid. It's their loved one, be their spouse, their mother, father, sister, brother, siblings, any kind of family members. But they are being burnt out, right? According to the Family Caregiver Alliance. Caregivers are being burnt out at 4 and 1, which is 38% with adults.
mm,
We also have those who are moderately stressed out. That is at 36%. And then those are being a little stressed out. That is at 25%. So let me help you out here. Those of you that's feeling like you're stressed out, that life is just taking over, you're overwhelmed, you're frustrated, you really just at your wit ends, right? We talked about this last week, stress management. What you
Mhm.
need to know is the tips. Go back. I encourage you to go back and listen to the video from last week. There were wonderful tips that we gave for those who need to be de-stressed. I'm
mm,
telling you, one thing we need to do to de-stress is to prioritize ourselves as number
Mhm.
one. Number
beautiful.
one. So I'm that's just news that you health news that you need to know for this time today. And we'll be back with you next week to share more of health news for you. Go check out the video from last week, stress management for caregivers. Thank you so much. That's health news for you. Don't be stressed out. Take care of yourself.
Amen. Good.
Thank you so very much.
You're welcome.
All right. So over to Isabel. Thank you, Medis, for being here. Medis, I believe this is the second time I'm seeing your face.
Yes.
Thank you. The deciding to come on. We really appreciate you and what you do. Isabel, can you? I know Jennifer has agreed to do about what you, but we always want to hear from the horses. Please, can you tell us a bit more about?
Okay, a little bit more about myself. I was raised, and my mother and father, they were sawmillers. I worked as on the sawmill and things like that. Grew up in Godwin, and my dad himself was kind of a self-care man, and he taught us a little bit about that. But also in my community, I know she said a lot, but in my profession, what I'm doing and what I was excuse me just a minute, but trying to say is when I decided to do my business as a paralegal, it was just a community of people that was not being served, like people that have worked all their lives, um, as in other like maybe cleaning houses, mechanics, different things like that, that just did not pay in the Social Security that they should have paid in, but in their own right was entrepreneurs that raised their families doing that. So as working for an attorney for years, I seen that community of people was not being served. And over a conversation with my late husband, just decided to, go out and help those people to get the services they need, because there are services for them. And I stepped out and started my business by helping those kind of people.
Good.
Awesome. Great, great, great. Yeah, there's on the table for one. It's just for be so much for letting us, into your journey. Can you please
I didn't hear the
tell
question.
us
I'm
a
sorry.
bit more about yourself?
Oh, yes, I'm happy to. So I live
Can you
here in
tell us
Ann Arbor.
a bit about?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question. I know you say you tell you a little bit more about myself. Is that correct?
Okay,
Okay,
I'm live
fantastic.
on Facebook.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so I'm Maida Skeet. I live here in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I am a personal trainer and wellness coach, something that I'm very proud to be. Prior to being a personal trainer and wellness coach, though, I was a health administrator at the University of Michigan Hospital. And also to Isabel, I am too am a Mary Kay. I'm a Mary Kay consultant. So welcome to the sisterhood. Well, I should say you should welcome me to the sisterhood. Anyway, in addition to that, I keep on a very active life in my church, and I work with the Habitat of Humanities. I'm on the board of directors there for Western Wayne County. So I'm a busy woman, you can tell. And so if I was to tell you a little bit more about my personal journey, which I'd like to go ahead and do right now, um, doing all those things, I thought, you know what, hey, I can handle this because I love being involved. I love what I do. My working, just because I'm working 50 hours a week doesn't mean anything, I can handle this. But in 2013, my mother had a fall, and it was actually a fall that disabled her. She for the next 7 years she lived in a wheelchair for her life. So I took on the role of caregiver, and of course I was going to do that because that was my mother. But the thing was, I actually burned myself out to the point that I really almost had a fatal, detrimenting, deathly illness. And that's where I came into the point to realize that I needed to wake up and change some things in my life because I really was not living a wellness life. That's where self care came in, and that's how I prayed about it. And I believe it was the Holy Spirit that inspired me to guilt free self care. So that's really my story. And I'm like you, Sherelle, I'm sticking to it.
That's right. That is absolutely right. Don't change it. Stick to it. Stick to
Right.
the
Nice,
story. Stick
Cheryl.
to the script.
I love the title, guilt
And
free.
Yes,
Guilt
yes.
free says a lot by itself, you know?
absolutely. Self care is
Okay,
multifaceted. I
so
mean, there are so many things about
um,
self care
Jennifer.
that we,
Yes. What we heard from Maida, she shared with us what inspired her to her personal business, you know, and I will say that significant emotional events sticks with us. We learn from it. We learn how to better ourselves so that the situation does not reoccur. So, Isabel, I'm pretty sure that there is a significant emotional event that has occurred in your life that has related in some of the successes or some of the goals that you have identified for yourself. Would you share with us?
Yeah, just like I was saying, that the community of the people that have not really paid in the Social Security like they should have, even though they worked and took care of their family. But as I was working, for that attorney, and for years, that was really great to me, and I had a good practice with him. But the thing when I seen people come into the office and go out, that they were not being served. And I just was thinking back and go back to like my father, which was an entrepreneur. And, he worked up until he was 80. But just the thought of if something was to happen to him or other people that I know that do their own businesses that have not really back in the day took care of what they needed to. So that really inspired me to see how I could help those people that have worked all their life but is not able to work
Mhm,
anymore but have taken care of their families.
mhm.
So that
Isn't
really
it
inspired
something how our personal experience impacts our goals and our decisions in life? Both of
yeah,
you ladies, you know, different environments, different socialization process, but it's those things that you experience personally that
yeah,
drove you in the direction
me.
that you've decided to go in. That is
yeah.
awesome. I really appreciate you sharing that with us. Sherelle? I'll let you fry their minds at this point.
You know what? There's so much going on in the world with caregiving, right? And I know they just shared a little bit about themselves. So you know what? Let's just talk about what's going on with you. Let's just break up the monotony a little bit. What's actually going on with you in caregiving? I'm gonna start with you, Matis. What's going on with you in caregiving?
Well, in caregiving, I like I said, I was the caregiver to my mother, and I really appreciate doing that. But in being a caregiver, I also realized that I needed to take care of myself.
Mhm,
Otherwise, I wouldn't be there to continue to take care of her.
mhm,
And really, as I said before, that incident that happened to me for my health, that caused a really scare to my health, is really what made me realize that if I don't wake up and do something now, then I won't be here. And I think that's something that all caregivers have to, at some point in time, think about. Because as you were saying before, it can be a burnout situation. But the thing about it is that when we need help, we need to ask for help. And that's where those self care, that guilt free self care comes in. We can't be
Mm-hmm.
reluctant to ask for help when we need help. And also, when people want to help us, this is the other thing, we can't be shying it away just because we don't think they'll do it the way we want it to be done. Unless it's a very good reason, we need help and we should accept the help. And we should take care of ourselves. All caregivers should take care of themselves. Put yourself first. It's like they say on the airplane, put on your mask first before you put on somebody else's.
Absolutely. And that is absolutely correct. Thank you so much for sharing that, Matis. And now, Isabel, how does this fit in with you with caregiving? You talk about the inner empowerment. How can we empower from within?
I think by just being a part of something that you think you can make a difference in. being grateful right where you are too, and just getting involved in how you can help someone else's life. Like in our tribe, we work together. I mean, that is one of our goals to bring better housing, bring better health care, educational, things like that as we come together, even around our talking circles, to see about the mental part, what has really brought them to where they are. So
Okay.
it's just a community of really getting involved and getting information out to your people. Don't hold it to yourself.
Right.
Share information, how you can make a difference in
Mhm.
someone else's life.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That is
Yeah.
great. You know what? That leads up to the next question. You have a role that you play in this community tribal, right? Can you
Yes.
tell us more information about the heritage of the tribal role and what it means to us as women? We know that this is Women's Care Month, National Women's Month. We're at the end. Today is March 30th. So tell us a little bit more about your tribe and what's your role in this position.
Okay, yeah. I'm the chairperson of the Cohary tribe, which is the 3,600 tribal members that represent Sampson and Harnett County. There's a governing body of 6 people that make the rules, regulations, and all of that for our tribe. We come together as a board to how can we improve our community? How can we make a difference in making sure that we're at the table and getting our community that service, service in our community. As the Commissioner of Indian Affairs, I am a commissioner that is appointed by the governor that sets on the state level that where all the 8 tribes of North Carolina come together to make those things happen for all the people, the American Indians in North Carolina. There's 8 American Indian tribes and 4 urban organizations in North Carolina.
Mm.
Wow. You know what? I know that is interesting. We're going to talk to you more about that,
Awesome.
Isabella,
Yeah.
another day
Yes,
in
yes.
time. I know it's a lot to go.
Amazing.
Listen, you just gave us a general. It's so much more that goes along with that. But
And I'm
thank you
so
so much for
yeah,
sharing
I'm
that.
so thankful for that opportunity because for people to know that we are still here and we're more than just a picture of other things. That even though we
Mhm.
walk in 2 worlds, we're still just like everyone else. We're very proud of our heritage and culture. And
Mhm.
I think there's so many things around that everyone can be involved in. We have powwows, different things throughout the state that
Beautiful.
we invite others to come in just to know we're still here.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. Back to you, Shirley.
Amazing. Isabel. And I appreciate the fact that you are you and of course your growth to tell the world that we are here. We and of course you are being bold about who you are. And that is what
That's right.
all of this as women to embrace who we are and of course be bold to talk about it. This, well, your color, whatever, heritage, you should be bold and of course ready to speak about it everywhere and anywhere. And that makes us all right. Before we go, let's go on a quick break. Please, let's gonna give advice to somebody in the house, but then let's do this.
Oh, oh,
No, happy birthday.
that was so sweet. Thank you so much.
Yes. Happy
Yeah,
birthday, Jen.
thank you.
Happy
That's
birthday.
beautiful. You don't
Yeah,
look
Happy
happy
birthday.
no
birthday.
one look at age at all.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes,
Yes.
he does.
Thank you. It's truly
Happy
a
birthday,
blessing.
Yes.
sis.
Yeah.
So beautiful at 70, take a view. So appreciate you. Yes. We love
Yes.
you.
Yeah, Mavis, I am a
You wanted
health
to keep
enthusiast
emails
myself.
100, you know.
Beautiful, beautiful, wonderful. I love it.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure,
Get fit
sure,
with
sure,
Jen.
sure. All right, so
Oh,
yeah, I can see you're doing an amazing job, keeping fit. Okay, so I wanna take ladies, what self-care tips are up for grabs for caregivers, because I know it can be very, very difficult. It's easier sometimes to say it, that as a caregiver, you need to put yourself first and all of that. And sometimes you get
Mhm.
swamped with a whole lot. But when you have something to work with, maybe on a daily basis, that could help you as a pointer, I think it could be,
I can
for
think of six
caregivers
things right
around the
now,
world.
and they all are
What
part of my guilt-free plan.
all
The very first one is, as I said
right?
before, get get help. Allow people to help
All
you.
right. So go ahead.
That's the first one. The second one is limit your boundaries. Know your boundaries. Sometimes you have to say, no, I can't do that. I'm so sorry, but I can't take that project on right now. And the next one is get some sleep. If you have to hire someone to get some sleep, hire someone so you can get some sleep. Sleep is important. Do you know that probably 40% of the world is deprived of sleep in the US? Get some sleep. It is what replenishes the cells. Your muscles grow, your bones develop, your heart, everything works well when you sleep.
That's
Okay,
right.
you gotta unplug sometime. All
Right.
right. And the next one is you really need to eat. There are so many caregivers. We go by snatching this up off the this out of the refrigerator. We're making meals for everyone else, and we nibbling. We're not eating. We're not sitting
Right.
down and eating a good meal. You
Mm-hmm.
need to eat to nourish your body, and you need to move. Come on, Jen. You need to move. You need to get up and exercise. Now you can do that at home. You can walk. You can take that, roll them out in there. You can walk. You can go up some stairs. If they're there, you go up those stairs, come back down. Go up those stairs, come back down. Go up those
Mm-hmm.
stairs, come back down. Keep it moving. If it's every 10 minutes, just do something every 10 minutes. Keep that
Right.
blood supply moving. Keep those lungs
Mm-hmm.
working. Keep those muscles active. Those are the ones I would say. And then, of course, I would never forget that you have to have the right attitude. And the best way I know to have the right attitude is you can
Mm-hmm.
read the Bible, praise the Lord, and write out a list of things you're grateful for every day. Three things that you're grateful for. It puts you in a different frame of mind because
Mm-hmm.
caregivers often you find that many caregivers get depressed, and that
Right.
affects their health too. That's not wellness. So those are the things that I would just off the top of my head, I would say I would give to advice to caregivers. And guess what? They don't cost anything outside the food.
That is great. That is great. Great tips.
Awesome,
Great tips, ladies.
awesome. They don't. Yeah, frankly, if you look at that skate as mentioned, it doesn't actually cost you a thing. You just have to be very intentional about having a, a healthy life.
That's
It's
right.
not
That's right.
you. At the end of all, if you fall down and just lapse or something, but it's you, and
Yeah.
that will just be your end. And people, so take a pause, look back at your
Mhm.
life. Are you running it? Are you running ahead? At the speed and all of that. You need to take a break. Very, very intentional. I think that will work. And be true to yourself.
That's
Sleep.
right.
People to actually get sleep. Like because of so many things, has to deal with. But ladies, as mentioned, if you're to pay somebody to work and have a good sleep, I think
Mm-hmm.
because everything about your body will function. All right. So thank you so very much, ladies. I really love those powerful tips. help drop for us. I know.
I have one more question. Can I ask one more question, Shirley? Just one more. One more
Yes,
question for both of these ladies
ma'am. Go ahead.
before we move on. Can I ask just one more? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
Maydis and Isabel. I want to know because I know both of you ladies do Mary Kay. So I have a personal question in regards to aging, facial care, the eyes. I'm an eye person, you know. I get up in the morning after I wash my face, I'm putting cream all around my eyes. Is there something or an ingredient or something that for 70 a 70-year old, I know they have products based on age, I think. I mean,
I
really,
I would tell you, Jennifer, happy birthday. You don't look 70, but I was suggest the our repair system because that is for our more mature woman, the 50
okay.
plus. And yes, it is a fabulous, fabulous product. So yes, it'll give you everything you need to keep you 70 more years looking good.
Thank you. And for Miss Maydis, what you
And
got for me?
well, one thing is taking care of your skin every day. That morning and evening routine is really important. And I know some people forget that or don't want to do it because they feel like they're too tired. But it really does help.
Hmm.
You know, I'm going to be 70 in the end of April myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Y'all
we
come
both,
on, 70s club.
1953 was a good year, wasn't it, Jennifer? Hey,
Absolutely.
Wow.
great year.
That is beautiful.
So really taking care of your skin because
Yes.
you know what I always say this: your body remembers how you treated it,
Yes.
and it's going to come back.
Yes.
So
It does.
there are some genetic things that we go through, but we can, that thing is really is genetics is just it's the gun,
Hmm.
but it's what we do is what
Hmm.
pulls the trigger. It's so
Hmm.
true.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
so true.
I believe that you're never too old to learn.
That's
Yes.
So I'm always
absolutely,
asking, and you always pick
absolutely,
up little niblets, as a
yeah,
friend of mine says, the hot sauce.
yeah,
The sauce that brings everything together.
yes,
So I
yes,
appreciate both you ladies' comments.
yeah.
Thank you. I just had to get that in, Shirley.
Yes, looking good because of the color.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Thank you so very much. I am so, so happy for all that you have shared with us. Before we go on to the next segment, let's go to All right, welcome back. We have we've had in the studio Mady's Skits, who is a trainer and wellness coach. She has
Mhm.
given us powerful self-care tips about me because I never knew sleep. It is one thing your body and my body needs to function properly. So if you're to pay someone so you can get a sleep, please do. And also, Isabel, I think she dropped out and she'll be back shortly. She has shared, wonderful informations with us that could help us, you know, do more from our space. Thank you so very much, ladies, for being
Mhm.
here. Up next is a minute with Jen. Before we take that, Jennifer, please can we recognize and appreciate those that has been with us on the show. Cheryl. Okay, so we have with us Vera. Vera Stencil saying that was awesome, fabulous at 70. Yes, I think that message is you, Jennifer. You are absolutely fabulous at 70. Okay, so we also have Kenya developed leadership. Developed leadership is okay. This one is just a Facebook user saying, "Man, the Bible speaks more." So individuals in the society without them. So thank you so very much. And also, Vera is saying, "Thank you, your guest. Thank you, thank you so very much. We appreciate you as well." Okay, so Isabel is back with us. Okay, so Jennifer, take it away.
All right. So, one of my goals, and we all have goals, and hopefully you will never, never not have a goal. You should always have one, was to have 10 minutes with Jen. And our producer, host, Minister Shirley Murphy said, "You got it." And you got 10 minutes to talk about whatever you want. So, what I want to talk about today
There you go.
is decision making. Decision making is the glue, if you will, of everything that we do. We decide on a goal. So, from my perspective, once I have envisioned what success looks like to me, at that point, I start developing a plan to get there. Now, when I talk about decision making, and there's different concepts, different guidelines, different ideas, mine is a myriad of what I learned in the military and what I learned in my educational pursuits and in my own personal experience. And it's a phrase that it was just catchy that I kept when I just call it the OMR concept: outcome, method, and resources. I decide what success looks like to me. Then I decide on how I am going to get there, and then what resources is going to take to be successful. Now, this process works in my professional life as well as in my personal life. I've indicated that I am retired Army. Some of you know it, some of you don't. Maybe this may not have known that, but I am a military veteran, 24 years and 7 months. And the skills that I learned in the military, I was able to take into corporate America. My post military position was Director for Patient Services with the College of Dental Medicine, Augusta University. In that capacity, the dean would call me in and he would say, "Well, Miss McNeil, I want you to do something." And I would look at him and I would say, "Well, okay, what does success look like to you?" Because what success looks like to you may not be what success looks like to me. And I don't want to be out there flapping my wings, not knowing where I'm going. So I would say, what does success look like to you, sir? And once we have a meeting of the minds, I think a couple of weeks ago we talked about effective communication, how we communicate our desires and our goals with others. I wanted to be clear
Mm-hmm.
that I knew what success looked like to him. Then I can make a determination what made us to say no. I don't think that's in my realm of responsibility or skill set, or
Mm-hmm.
absolutely, I can do that. You know,
Yeah.
I can do that with my eyes closed because I know what success looks like to me. When you get down to the method and to the resources, is where you must feel comfortable in asking others for assistance because you can't do everything by yourself. We want to be stress free. How about that, Sherelle, right? When we can piece
That's right.
out different
That's right.
aspects of things, right? You're taking
Absolutely.
that stress off of you, and
Right.
we're sharing
Mm-hmm.
in the outcome. One of the things I
Mm-hmm.
did as a soldier when I transferred from installation to installation was to find the informal leader of the organization, because
Mhm.
that person became my ally. I might be the one in charge, but I'm going to find that informal leader, the one that everybody gravitated to.
Yeah.
That's right.
That was the person that I would share. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
This is what success looks like to me.
Mhm.
What
Mhm.
do you think? They would share it, but family, what am I doing? I'm bringing them into my world.
That's
Am I
right.
not?
That's
I'm
right.
allowing them to embrace and to share my dream.
Exactly.
Now, my vision of success is their vision of
It's success.
success. So family,
Wonderful.
what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying today is you can achieve anything that you want if you have a plan, if you prepare. I
Mhm.
think, my mama used to tell me, she said, Jenny, God got you here for a reason. He says, you have a gift to gab. She told me that early. I didn't pick up on that until I became well into my adult life. But I have learned that I have something to say and people listen. And I have learned to listen, and I love to bring people into my world. I love reaching out to Isabel. I knew her, I know her, but I knew realistically her sister is what caught me. I knew her sister before I knew her. And then I saw a post within her tribe where her sister received an award. And I think it was in February. It might have been earlier this month. I said, oh my God, look at Mary. And then I reached out. I said, you know what? This is Women's History Month. This is something that we can share with our audience because we don't hear about that, as Cheryl
Mhm.
mentioned. And I'm going on a tangent, but I want to get back to my 10 minutes with Jen. Decision making. If you haven't developed or adopt one, feel free to reach out to me. I will willingly share. Paid off my house using it. Do all my travels using it, and have had a very successful career using it.
Amen.
That's my 10 minutes,
Wonderful.
Jen. That's what I wanted to share. Back to you, Shirley.
Beautiful, Jen.
Thank you.
That's your story, and you saved it.
Yeah.
I was all right. Thank you so very much, Jane.
Thank
So,
you.
what does success
Beautiful.
is, Isabel, Cheryl? I think that's a question you need to answer yourself. What does success mean to you? So for Jennifer, she has shared hers, and I really appreciate that. And I know the viewers, are also learning from what I have to share. Thank you so very much. Because of our time, and move to the next segment, the fun
Mhm.
segment. All right, Cheryl.
Yes. Okay, ladies. Thank you so much for that, Jen. You know what?
Mhm.
We all have a memorable memory bank, right? We all have some fun segments. We all have memories in our memory bank that we know that we can share with someone. For my wonderful guest that's on here today, Isabel, you can go first. Share with us a memorable day that you had, and then after the memorable day, share with us a fun fact. And I take it away, Isabel, because I know you got
Oh
some
my,
fun facts, Isabel.
yeah, I
I
know
know
there's
you
so
got
much. I don't know. Let me see where I start. A memorable day. I
Ah,
We'll
think,
start with your memorable day.
um,
What was a memorable day for you, Isabel? One day.
ooh, one day. I think the day that I had my son.
Really? That's beautiful.
I really do. I think that was, that's the time that I think about my life that I never thought that day was going to come. And, because I was an older mom, but, I was just, it was just a day that was, seemed like I can't compare anything. He's just my pride and joy and my greatest accomplishment. That's what I always call him. So that was a a day of pride, a day that hey,
Wait a
I
minute.
but I can't think of it. Everybody's probably like, "Oh, girl, please." Yeah, I know. But that is to me. Okay,
Well, wait a minute. That's, you know what?
audience, come on now, give a girl a break. Okay,
And you know what? And your memorable day is your memorable day, right?
That's right.
So, yes. Listen, don't let nobody take you out of your memorable day,
I
girl.
know, and even I know, but anyway, yeah. But really, I think I'll never forget it.
That's right. It was very memorable. There you go. So you just have just the one son, Isabel?
Yes, just one son. He just turned 30. Just one son. Yep.
There you go. Congratulations. He's 30 now.
He just turned 30 in March this month.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Congratulations. Now, with that being said, about your memorable day about your son, what was a fun fact? Can you give us a fun fact in there? The fun might have been just raising them. You could have had.
Oh my goodness, fun. There's so much fun.
Because a boy is different from raising a girl.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Fun. There's so much fun.
Raising a girl. Yeah. When starting together.
Oh Lord, yeah, fun. I had fun. I can't think of a fun. Let me see what with him. So many. Oh Lord, you put me on the spot. I can't even think of anything. Yes, I know there was some fun stuff. I mean, fun always.
Come back to you, Isabel.
Come back to me because I can't even think of one thing that's funny. I mean, the funniest.
Okay.
All right.
So, listen, your son got you stunned, girl. Okay, you like that? You can't.
I can't think of the fun facts.
I am so happy you had your son, though. But we can come back to you. If you think about your fun fact, we're not gonna forget about it. Okay?
I'm gonna think
you
about
have
the
a lot
fun
of
fact I had. Okay, many, but yes.
Wonderful. We'll come back to you. So we're gonna switch over to Matis. Matis, share with us a memorable day that you had, and then share with us a fun fact.
Okay, I've had so many memorable days. I really have. But I'm going to take one of the memorable days from my caregiving experience.
Okay.
So I had someone spending the night with my mother because, I needed some sleep.
Right.
And I had someone spending the night with my mother. And I received a phone call at about 2:30 in the morning from this caregiver. Some of my caregivers were so funny. She used to call me Miss Maida. She says, Miss Maida, I'm calling you to let you know that someone is outside. People outside smoking marijuana. She said, I can smell it. And I thought, oh my goodness, you're kidding me. She says, yes, they're outside. They're smoking marijuana. And I said, well, what have you? She says, she's calling the police. Well, I found out later she called the police. Got my mother up. She called the police. The police came, 2 squad cars.
Oh Lord!
And they never found anyone. All they found was a skunk.
A skunk.
And what they said she was smelling was a skunk.
A skunk passing gas. Right.
And so it was so funny because the squad cars, my mother was up. It's like 3:00 in the morning, and they looking for people, and they found a skunk.
Wow! Come on now, that was very memorable.
Funniest thing that was memorable, and it was one of the funniest things that I had ever heard because the woman didn't know the smell of a skunk.
Right.
Yeah.
Because even now, I still be like, is that a skunk? But listen, the marijuana now smell like a skunk. So she wasn't too far off. Even way back then, it just came to fruition that's what's going on.
Right, but it was just so funny that 2 squad cars came.
Yeah.
Because it was an older person. It was out in the country. They come with the lights and everything.
Everything, yeah.
Right. Wow.
Everybody looking around like, what?
That is beautiful. But thank you for sharing that with us. That was your memorable day. Then it was also a fun fact. The fun was that the cops came and there was a squirrel that passed gas and it was all up in the air. Wow. So that was definitely memorable. So I'm
Yes.
gonna go back. Thank you for sharing that with us, Matis. Miss Isabel, have you come up with your fun fact, dear?
I can't think of one. I was just thinking about everything, but the fun. I mean, I'm thinking about so much. I'm trying to think of something funny like she had. I'm trying to.
It can be your fun fact. It can be
You know
listen.
what? You know what, Isabel? I remember one time you were telling us because I think your mother has now passed, but I
Yes.
remember she was your Mary Kay model. I remember you you posted one time. I think you gave your mother a facial.
Wow.
And it was a little more to the situation because it was funny, but her mother
Yeah.
was she was right
Yeah.
there. She just did it all. I think it was a new product or something she was demonstrating how to
Yeah.
use, and she used her mother as a model. Now, I thought that
Yeah.
was kind of cute. It's not funny talking about it, but it was funny when I watched it.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
was.
it was funny. But I will share. I was thinking about my son, but he has so many that maybe I don't want to share. But my mom and she always taught us, we treat people like we want to be treated, and being unoffendable. You know what I mean? And the older she got, how as you get older, she was about 87, 88. We're sitting on the porch, and she was living in this community, just seniors, and they were just right. Her friends. And this goes back to being, talking about our self-care and our wellness as they were going by, and Miss Faye was riding by and Mama was waving, and she was like, she seen me. I was like, Mama, she didn't see you. She ain't paying you any attention. You know how they are. They expect, and I just was telling her, about, you said don't be unaffiliated, but she didn't say that. I ain't never said that, she ain't never said that then. So I would just laugh so much, me and my sisters, because how she raised us, she was doing that. And it was so funny, how she was just saying, what, that don't be like that. And she was like that. So we were laughing about that. But that was funny, that she was, you had to be there to know it was so funny. But we were like
Right.
about that.
Right. Absolutely. Girl.
That way. And then but she was 88.
Wow. Thank you so much. So you had a fun fact.
All
You have a
right.
lot of
Thank
fun
you
facts
so
in
very
you.
much.
Yes, I do. I have a lot. I come from a family of 10 or 11, and then my
Ooh.
dad and mom raised 5 of my cousins. So I come from a large family. Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
So there's so
Okay.
many.
Right. Okay, Dr. Shirley. Thank you, ladies, so much for sharing that.
All right.
Dr. Shirley?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so before we take, I want to ask ladies and their final thoughts because we are almost at the top of the hour. But before we do that, let's take this final commercial.
Welcome to Passion Home Health Services, LLC, a home health care with a heart of passion, providing hands-on patient care whenever and wherever you need. As a primary home health provider, we are focused to achieve optimum level of health and recovery for both patient and their families. With over 3 decades of experience, we are committed to providing you with the best home care through exceptional services tailored to your needs. We bring professional home health care to your doorstep. Contact us today.
Yes,
All
beautiful.
right, welcome back. I really enjoyed, all the fun facts and the memorable day that you ladies had
Yes.
to share. And like I said, we are almost on top of the hour, and I want you to share final words of wisdom that our viewers, will, can or hear, go back home with. All right, so to ladies, I know we have like all that we've been saying, trying to help self. No, there are so many, people that struggle with all of this. In fact, caregiver, and aside from caregivers, of an Isabel, we are not Isabel, but sometimes we struggle with some of these things. What would to do? Everyday people and then of course
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part. Is it? Could someone else repeat that? What you just said?
Sure. She was saying if those that's for someone, a caregiver that is struggling with every
okay.
day being a caregiver, what advice would you give to them?
Oh, I would say to anyone, caregivers and anyone really,
Sure.
that we need to first of all reassess ourselves, critically look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Where are your weaknesses? What is it that you need? And you need to look at yourself. And I think of a wellness concept as: am I spiritually deficient, mentally
Mm-hmm.
deficient, physically deficient? Where is it that I need some help? And
Right.
then get the help there. Start there. So really, you need to look within yourself and start there. And I think again, mindset has a lot to do with it. If we're thinking about what is,
Mm-hmm.
because that's where it starts in the mind. And mental health is a big
Absolutely.
issue right now. So stopping to say, Am I feeling? Am I feeling whole? Am I feeling like I'm valued? Am I feeling like I'm getting something out of life that I want? Because that is a part of self care, and that's for the caregiver and for anyone. Because if you're missing any of those components,
Mm-hmm.
then you really are going to be deficient, and the body will suffer in other areas, and that will move you out of the wellness alignment, and that's what we don't want. We want you to stay well. So look within yourself. Seriously,
Some
critically
some
look at what your own needs are within.
That's good. Beautiful. They did, and that's definitely start with self. Absolutely. Then also, Dr. Shirley had mentioned about give us your final words of wisdom for both of you. Think about your final words of wisdom. I'm gonna go ahead and start with Isabel. Then I'm gonna come back to you, Miss Matus. Isabel, give us some final words of wisdom for caregivers.
For caregivers, just being grateful right where you are, and having that set of mind, that and being grateful. Like I was a caregiver for my mom, and even though there, it gets tough at times, and even though there's other people that everybody can't be there one time, but just being grateful, and while you can do those things, if you get that grateful mindset, that you're glad to be here. My mom, I mean, just kind of setting
Mm-hmm.
yourself up, not setting yourself up, but just getting your head right along with your heart. And I think that that's a way to help you be better, and just knowing all that this person has been there for you, or this is your duty as a person to serve and to treat people like you want to be treated, and just be knowing that there's so much reward in doing that.
Absolutely. And with that being said, instead of going back and forth, how do the people get in contact with you, Isabel?
They can My email is isabelfreemanelliott@gmail.com. And also, I have a website that I sent the information out, and it's www.marykay.com, Isabel Freeman Elliott, and also 910-658-6081.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that, Isabel. And thank you for joining us today. Now, Matis, we come back to you. What is your final words of wisdom? And how do the people get in contact with you?
Okay. Well, I agree with Isabel that
You're
being
on mute.
grateful that my I'm on mute. Oh, I didn't do
No,
anything.
you're
Oh my
okay now.
goodness.
You're okay now.
Okay. All right.
You okay?
So I agree that to be grateful and having a great mindset is one thing, but I will always go back to number one, and that is get help. You know that's commercial. Help. I'm falling and I can't get up. You
Yeah.
don't want to be there. So get
Yes.
help. All
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And how you can get in contact with me? Well, I've written a book, Self Care for the Caregiver, a guilt free way to love yourself while you're helping others. And you can get in contact with me at my email, guiltfreeselfcare at gmail.com.
Beautiful. Thank you, ladies. It's been wonderful. It's been wonderful having you ladies today. And I'm just going to share my final words of wisdom. Then I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Shirley. And then when Jen come in, she can give her final words of wisdom. So let me just share this with the audience and everyone that's listening. We know as caregivers, like she just said, we don't have to be a caregiver. This is daily living, right? life
Mhm.
issues, life
Yeah.
happens, so you don't have to be a caregiver. There are only four kinds of people in the world. There are only four kinds of people in the world. There's only four kinds of caregivers in the world, per Lady Rosalind Carter, the former president wife. Jimmy Carter's wife says this. There are only four kinds of caregivers in the world. You have people who are caregivers, people who will be caregivers, people who need care, and people who will need to be cared for. That's it. And let us not be the one that needs the care, right? Because we
Right.
have already talked about
Right.
what we need to do to stay healthy, stay well. You have given tips throughout this segment. So let's not be the one that need the care. Let's be proactive in taking care of ourselves, right?
Amen.
Take care of
Right.
yourself. Be the best that you can be. Listen, come back and join us next week. I'm gonna flip it over to Dr. Shirley. That's my story, and I always say, as Les Brown say, and I'm sticking to it. I'm not, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. Stick to your guns, baby. Do
Amazing.
what you need to
Right.
do. Stay healthy. Listen, our program is about what? Stay fit and well,
Thank
and we
you.
mean that. Stay fit and stay well by doing whatever you need to do. Amen. That's my story.
Amen.
Back to you, Dr. Shirley.
It has, yeah, been amazing, having you ladies on the show to share knowledge in your area of discipline with us. We are so, so blessed to have you. And of course, with what Maydis has shared with us about not feeling guilty when it comes to you. Don't feel guilty. Take care of you. Put first. As I know the nurses say this, put the mask on first before you try to help the next person. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be very difficult, but you need to be very intentional, because if you're not well and around to do things, you can't actually help the next person. So
Mm-hmm.
if you want others, help yourself first. Those are some of the takeaways for me, and also talking about inner empowerment. It comes from right within, and the lady already shared it. But grateful, and then again, identity. You need help. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
problem. You know, sometimes people will feel like, no, what's they will look at me like I'm weak and all of that. That's what they'll just want to keep it. They are supposed to ask for help. The person says no, move ahead to the next one that will say yes. So never stop.
Right.
Keep
Mm-hmm.
asking
Yes.
for help until you get the yes. Right. So thank you so much, ladies. It has been an amazing time with you. I know we're gonna have you, maybe one of you, back on the show sometime on today's episode of the show. Enjoyed yourself, and I hope you were able to grab some of the points that
Mm-hmm.
had dropped. Golden that will for you. Okay, so we see same time next week.
Beautiful. Bye
Bye
bye.
now.
Hi, did you know that over 35 million Americans have type 2 diabetes?
Are you looking for a way to improve your lifestyle and find balance in your life? If so, then you need to check out the Stay Fit and Well Talk show. This educational package will help you learn how to live a healthy lifestyle and make the most of your life. We cover a wide range of topics on the show, including fitness, nutrition, mental health, and more. You can watch us live on Facebook and YouTube every Thursday at 6 p.m. WAT, 12 p.m. EST. So if you're looking for a way to improve your life and get healthy, be sure to tune in to the Stay Fit and Well Talk show.